Zoe got on the bus and she looked fine. Everything was good. We talked for a few minutes and she went and sat down where she always did. The other kids were getting on. I was talking to them. And a few minutes later, one of her very good friends got on that always sat with her, and she said, "Miss Michelle, I think something's wrong with Zoe."
My vision just kind of went out like an old television, like just black. So I just laid my head on the seat, and then it was just nothing from there.
When the aneurysm happened, I guess it threw her body into shock, and her color changed instantly, and her head was down, and I knew we were in trouble.
All of a sudden, there's a really panicked message over the radio. And I've got the radio. The radio said, "We need an administrator on bus 2020 now." So immediately I dropped what I was doing. I'd take off running, looking for bus 2020 down the road. And I remember Miss Ball, one of our teachers here, standing out and just waving frantically. "We need you, we need you, we need you."
The next thing I knew, I was trying to get Zoe on the floor, and thank goodness Mr. Buege come running up. And with superhuman strength, I don't know how he done it because I'm pretty strong for a female, and I could not get her legs to unlock. She was locked underneath the seat. And he said, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Can you get her out of the seat?" And with superhuman strength, he picked her up like she was a Kleenex, and he got her on the floor.
Miss Michelle, the bus driver, started checking for vitals and things like that, and there was nothing. You want to look around and hope that somebody's there who can, who's taking control of this, and it became apparent really quickly that this was going to be a serious situation, that Miss Michelle and I had to act quickly.
And I asked him, I said, "Have you ever done CPR before?" And he said, "It's been a while." And I said, "Well," I said, "do you want to go first or do you want me to?"
We'd gone back and forth probably 2 or 3 times between the two of us, and just praying the whole time.
I had to lay on the seat on my stomach, and I had my feet up against the window, and so I started doing CPR on her and got her back the first time, and I said, "Not today, today ain't your day." And she went back out on us a second time and started CPR again, and we got her back, and about that time the ambulance got here. I had to drag her with her backpack, and I got her off the emergency exit on the side door. I had got to go to the hospital to see Zoe, and she still had support on, but she was able to mouth. She was able to mouth, and I couldn't read what she was saying through her mouth, and she got her dad to hand her a board, and she wrote on a board, "Y'all saved me."
I'm so grateful for her. I think of her kind of like my guardian angel sometimes.
I was told by the hospital that Zoe had a 1% chance of living that day. 1%. If everything wouldn't have went exactly as it did. Speed was everything. I'm just grateful that she's here and that the situation happened exactly as it did. I'm glad her daddy's going to see her walk and graduate this year.